Hey, welcome back for real this time. Welcome back to my channel. So, unless you weren't here maybe about 20 minutes ago, you're like, welcome back. What you mean? Listen, I know I'm here a different time. Y'all, it was a struggle streaming situation going on a little bit earlier. Let me move that back a little bit earlier, but it appears that everything is working. And so it looks like we can get our lives started. Okay. If you're new here, my name is Melissa Berrien, and I am your host of Real Talk with Melissa Berrien. And as you can see from the title, we're going to court today. But before we go to court, I want to share something light in support of my sister who doesn't know me from Adam, okay? However, I'm with you when you're right, and I'm also all about supporting women. So as people are coming in, check out this trailer. What trailer, Melissa? Hold on. Let me show you. So proud of this sister. She is taking Hollywood by storm. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. Check this out. All right. I'm all kind of out of order. I want y'all to know. See, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What fun. Well, anyway, hope you guys are doing well. While this video is deciding to do what it wants to do, I may just come back in a couple of hours.
Do you know what time it is? It's Tab time. Hello there, I'm Miss Tab, and welcome to my garden. It's time to go on a special adventure, and we go there using our imagination. Holy guacamole, Miss Tab. Well, hello there, Ivy. Each square, you can think of a memory about family. Yes! Today we are making some fruit race cars.
Isn't this cute? Like, it's so cute. So while it's rebooting or doing whatever it's doing, I love this for her. I love this idea. There definitely needs to be more representation of people of color interacting with everyone, multicultures. You know, it's just a happy, feel-good
Hello
show.
there, little orange seed. I'm Marmalade. It's nice to meet you, just like Marmalade. I used to be very small. All of your feelings are part of what makes you so special. Lovey thinks so too. Hello, friends of mine.
Oh no, see, I can't struggle stream. Can't do it. Can't do it. I might have to be back about 8 o'clock tonight, y'all, but because right now, Miss StreamYard is tripping and I'm not gonna be able to do this. But so let me stop sharing. Y'all see it.
Come on in, it's Tab time.
So
Cause it's your business.
That's right, because it's your business, honey.
isn't that cute? That is the cutest. Like, congratulations to you, Tabitha, on your seasonings, on this show, everything. Like, she's killing the game, okay? Arriving on the scene. She's actually been in Hollywood doing comedy for a minute, but she's just kind of coming out of nowhere and just taking over with the seasoning, the show, and everything. So before we get into our news, I wanted to show that because it's a little light and it's real cute. So, hey, Patrice, good to see you. So listen, girl, I am about 30 minutes late. And I'm completely okay with that because I will shut this stream down again if it starts acting up. But it seems to be acting okay right now. But again, if it starts to getting struggly bugly, listen, I'll see y'all in 3 hours, or I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, or I'll see y'all tomorrow night. But I'm not going to struggle stream. But I'm going to whisper because so far, so good. I agree with you, Black's Tropical. So cute, so colorful, so fun. It looks like she's going to be doing crafts. She's going to be teaching the kids about different snacks and stuff. I'm excited. And I don't even have kids that are that age. But you know what? Like I said, I'm with the sister when she's winning. And congratulations once again to Miss Tabitha Brown. So, let's get right into the stories. Like I said, I wanted to share that because I'm super excited for her. I'm very happy for her. But let's get into these court cases, okay? That is why you're here. That is what you want to talk about. And again, pardon my delay in streaming. It was just up, not, it is what it is, It's either the internet or it's StreamYard. Can't really say which one it's going to be today cutting up. Yep, I'm back on Trash Can Waves. Let me drop the link. I'm going to go through some of the stories, and then if people want to come on, they can. But like I said, if I start struggle streaming, I'll see y'all tonight, or I'll do a pre-recorded. And I know y'all can't stand me doing pre-recorded. So anyway, let's see. Fire up the likes right now. Do it right now. Do it. So anyway, so the first case. So I'm gonna I don't know. When I first saw this story yesterday, I didn't click on it. I didn't believe it. And I also thought that he was caught. Well, if you don't know who this is, let me get his name correct. This is Zac Stacy. He is an ex NFL running back, I think. And he was, hold on. There we go. He was videotaped, and some of these words I can't even say, and I definitely can't show you the video. But I saw the video yesterday. I skipped through it because I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm over watching dudes and females, it doesn't matter. I'm over the violence amongst the couples. Okay. So yesterday it went viral that there was his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, his baby. In a video, he is assaulting the woman. Okay. It is a very graphic video. I will not be showing it. Yes, he is an ex-NFL player. Well, we're told that Stacy, that's the dude's name, became furious and aggressive with his ex during an argument. And that's when the video shows the former 5th-round pick swinging at her head before yanking her off the couch, tossing her across the room and on the floor. That's all I need to say. You get the picture. And so now here we are the next day, and he's still on the loose. I didn't know that. I thought they caught him yesterday because, like I said, I didn't click on it because enough is enough with this foolishness. Well, he's still on the run, and not only is on the run, he has lost a deal from Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. They cut ties with him as a result of this video. Can you blame him? Leave a comment down below. Maybe by some strange, stretch of the imagination, one of you feels like, you know what, leave the man's money alone. No, I believe that Trans Perfect Music City Bowl cut ties as they should as a result of this video. Again, I'm not showing the video, but I am here to tell you it is graphic. It is very graphic. And so, in the unfortunate words of DJ Khaled, another one. What the heck is going on in Hollywood? What the heck is going on in sports? Okay. Okay. Hey, Melissa. Hey, how you doing, girl? Hope you're having a good day. Patrice Garner up on it. Yep. Road Rage, girl, that video was absolutely disgusting. Absolutely, Patrice. And I was like, I'm not going to click on it. But then I ended up clicking on it. And then, like I said, I couldn't believe after all of that he was not in custody. And you know what? If I find him and see him or whatever, not like he gonna be in my little neighborhood, but I'm just saying, if y'all listen, all y'all, this whole snitches get stitches culture, this right here is part of the problem. And if you are hiding him, aiding him in any way, I'm sorry, trash. Good thing she had the video up as proof. Absolutely. Tika 92 says he needs to be in jail. He needs to be under the jail. And yeah. I hope that he does. Patrice says, they're talking to each other. What's good? I got another avatar to humble you coming up soon. Oh Lord. Oh boy. It's very triggering for physical abuse victims of domestic violence. You know what? It really is. And for me, it's triggering just for somebody like I'm an empath for sure. So I see videos like that and I take it in, I consume it, and I feel very, very bad for this young lady. And again, like I said, it's just one news story after another. So leave a comment down below. You guys are already commenting. Replay gang, let me know what you think about this. You guys already know. I will definitely comment and interact with you guys. And yes, it is very triggering. Patrice Garner better not be Monique and her boss daddy. You know it'll be her boss daddy. Hey, babies. So that's that. Be on the lookout. God only knows where he's at, but I can tell you that he is probably, let me ticker her, probably not alone. Somebody knows where he's at. And you know what the sad part about it is? Although his alleged victim, well, we saw the video, okay, but although his victim has put out an APB like, hey, if you know where he's at, all of that stuff, if you know where he's at, or if you've seen him, contact the authorities. The sad part about it is the likelihood of her knowing where he's at this point and not saying something is really high. That's interesting, but it's also the psyche of what we're dealing with. So hopefully she is safe. The law enforcement has said that they have protections in place for her, which she needs, and the baby. And again, a lot of times, especially when we look at the Danny Lee and the baby and all of that, a lot of people are up in arms because they're like, oh, how can he do that in front of their babies? You know what? The truth of the matter is it shouldn't be done at all. Point blank, period. So on to the next shocking, sad situation. Travis Scott, I told you guys, and I did drop the link, friends. So if you want to come up and discuss it, we can discuss it together, go through the stories together. But anyway, so just look in the comments. Travis Scott continues to make news. He continues to give us the story that keeps giving, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not celebrating in his misery. However, I got a report on it. Travis Scott, Drake, Apple, Live Nation, they're hit with the $750 million Astroworld lawsuit. I also heard that there's a lawsuit going into the billions against Travis Scott. This has got to be an insurance nightmare, okay? We've been discussing this for 2 weeks now. We've already said yesterday that this is going to be a nightmare for insurance, for advertisement, anyone connected to this brand, because it's now a liability. So with these lawsuits, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I mean, because these numbers are astronomical, and I'm sure Travis Scott has a fraction of it. But do you think that these people are going to be awarded and given whatever it is that they're seeking, whatever damages that they're seeking? Or are these lawsuits kind of frivolous and pointless? Let me know. No link drop. Oh, okay. Oh, child, we done started over. Let me share it right now. I have started the stream over about 5 times, so maybe that's why. Oh, child, it's sitting right there. Yes, Patrice, we reported on a little 9-year-old. Travis Scott supposedly got demon shadows jumping through the crowd. I saw that video and I was like, not good. Ruby King says, I'm sure he's done it before. Talking about the previous case that we just talked about. Possibly. I'm looking forward to it. So they're talking about that. And yeah, so this story is just not going to go away, because unfortunately there have been loss of life, and with loss of life, someone wants to hold people responsible, point blank, period. And so again, we talked about the delay of the shoes that's taking place. Drake delayed, it was reported that Drake delayed something, but of course, in true Kardashian fashion, Kylie Jenner launched or advertised something today, and everyone's up in arms. And I'm like, what do you expect? Those people are about their money, okay? And they will disassociate themselves from you and drama in a hot minute. So again, Travis Scott, Drake, Apple, Live Nation, all these people are named in these lawsuits, and time will only tell what's going to come up of these lawsuits, and will people's damages, what they want, be justified and satisfied. Okay. Yes, he has. That's why she got the videos for proof. Wow. It was awful, y'all. It was absolutely awful. If you are severely triggered by stuff like that, I don't recommend that you watch that video at all. Well, on to a different type of court, because I told you we're going to court today, okay? Link has been dropped. I didn't tell y'all. I'll tell y'all on a commercial break. But anyway, and on to another case. So if you don't know who this is Julius Jones. Julius Jones was awarded a stay of execution by the Oklahoma governor. He grants clemency to Julius Jones hours before he was set to be executed. I didn't know about this article. About this young man, this gentleman, this person, until maybe about 3 weeks ago, when people were really starting to, when I say people, advocates, Kim Kardashian, your Sean Kings, your Tamika Mallory, like just different people that just came out the woodworks, and they've probably been working on this for a long time. So don't quote me, but I'm just saying I didn't know about it until about a week or two ago. And what they were doing is they were putting forth a petition to make sure that this young man did not lose his life as a result of of execution. Now, the Oklahoma governor, Kevin Stitt, has commuted the death sentence of Julius Jones after mounting public pressure just hours before it was going to take place. He reduced his sentence to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, intervening right before it was scheduled, and through lethal injection. Again, I can't show the videos and all of that, but I did see where he went to the parole board or was petitioning the governor yesterday. Saw a little bit about that. And Stitt announced today, he says, after prayerful consideration and reviewing materials presented by all sides of this case, I have determined to commute Julius Jones's sentence to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. So a lot of people feel like this is a win. Some people feel like this is just a dig because he can't get parole. And I'm sure his family and loved ones are breathing a sigh of relief, because at least he is alive this evening, which he was not scheduled to be. Now, Jones is 41. He was sentenced to death for a 1999 shooting death of Paul Howell in Edmond, Oklahoma. Jones has always maintained his innocence. Attorneys fighting for his freedom say the case leading to his conviction was seriously flawed. And we know that is very common. And, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you personally feel about death penalties, what you feel about this case, because for me, in my opinion, the problem with the death penalty is unless you just absolutely see and know that something happens, that's kind of a serious thing to take someone's life, based on sometimes hearsay, sometimes, especially back in the day when DNA wasn't out. So yeah, yes, the governor gave him clemency. Patrice, what did he do? I love when you guys come on my live and we're going through the stories and then I share something that y'all don't already know, which happens so often. So I love it. Thank you for commenting, Patrice. And you know what, girl, you have got to email me your number because I was in your area and I was like, oh, I wonder what Patrice doing. She need to meet us. But anyway, you weren't around. So where is it? Not that one. Yeah, you weren't around. So anyway, what did he do? Let's continue reading. So a shooting death. Okay. So questions over Jones's role in Howell's murder led the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board to recommend this month that his death sentence be commuted to life in prison without the possibility of parole. What's interesting is, and of course, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this works, but it's very interesting that there's enough evidence presented with enough doubt to say, okay, we're going to do a stay of execution, or we're going to commute that, but we're going to do life in prison. It's really weird to me how it's still sort of like a closed thing. It's just that he's alive. This Thursday order states that Oklahoma law does not permit the parole board to recommend that a death sentence be commuted to life with the possibility of parole, citing a specific article in the state constitution. Stith acted on the board's recommendation just hours before he was set to be executed at 4 p.m. So that was like an hour or two ago. But I got this story much earlier. So yeah. Stith's silence over the intervening weeks prompted last-minute appeals from family members, activists, and celebrities. Like I said, Kim Kardashian, Jones, the anchor, his name's not Jim Jones, Van Jones, just everybody just kind of came out the woodworks in support of this guy. Questions around Joseph's co-defendant story. Okay, Trash Can Waves. On the night of July 28th, 1999, Jones says he was with his family and his parents' Oklahoma City house having dinner and playing board games. That's according to the Innocent Project, a nonprofit focused on exonerating the wrongfully convicted. Prosecutors have said Jones told a different story after his arrest. But around the same time that evening, less than 20 miles away, Paul Howell was pulling up to his own parents' home. Moments later, he was shot and killed, the victim of a carjacking. Howell's sister was an eyewitness to the crime. Howell's family members testified before the parole board and said they are convinced of Jones's guilt. They say they feel re-victimized by the publicity the case has received. I can understand that from the victim's family side. You know, this is like a wound opening up all over again from their point of view. Attorney for Jones say there are serious problems with the case. Chris Jordan, the co-defendant in this case, and at the time of the shooting, a friend of Jones, allegedly admitted to at least 3 cellmates he was the one that killed Howell, not Jones. Leave a comment down below. Cellmate talk. I know what happens in TV, but is there some merit to cellmate jail talk after the case and all of that? Well, here's my answer. Prosecutors say those cellmates are not credible, according to the Associated Press. Jordan spent the night at Jones's home after Howell's murder, according to the reports. When he was questioned by police, Jordan told the police the gun was in Jones's parents' house. Jordan testified against Jones and pleaded and received a plea deal. He got out of prison after serving 15 years behind bars. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, y'all. Big names have really came into play to, how I get a private jet? Okay. Oh, there you are. All right, let's bring up Patrice while I finish talking about this case. Hey, Patrice.
Hey, girl. I said, let me come up so I can leave the email in the private chat so you will have it. How you doing?
I'm good, sis. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How do you feel about this case? Are you excited? What do you feel?
It's it's a slippery slope, right? It's like
Yes.
really, I didn't know a lot about it. I just recently, over the last couple of days, learned about his case,
Right.
and really reading it, on the internet and getting the information off the news. It's like, wow, but he's saying he was not even there.
I know.
So, and then the friend that got the 15 years and got out is allegedly really the killer, and he did 15 years, but they said he kind of framed dude, and I'm wondering how did he do that? Like, if Julius was nowhere, I think his name Julius.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If he was nowhere near the case, then where is evidence proving him? I mean,
because
at the where the incident happened. If he wasn't at the scene of the crime, then what did they find?
What I'm reading is allegedly after whatever, he spent the night at Julius's house, and then he said, "Oh, the gun's at his house." So allegedly it could be a story where um the co-defendant shoots, goes to Julius's house, knowing people are looking for him, plants the gun at his house.
Mm-hmm.
Police come over, boom, boom, boom. That's the only thing I could think of. But I'm
Right.
like
Oh
you. I'm
wow.
like you. You know, I don't know. It, like you said, it's a slippery slope because you're talking about somebody's life, you know, and
Exactly.
and it's like, okay, if there's just an ounce of doubt, then I say don't do it.
I
And that's
agree, and I agree, and I'm actually for the death penalty. But
same.
when it's a reasonable doubt,
Yeah,
any shadow of a doubt, then no.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
agree to it. But I am a believer of the death penalty. I believe some people don't deserve to be on this earth for
No,
committing
absolutely.
certain crimes
Yeah.
against children, women,
Yes.
the elderly,
Yep.
veterans. I mean, I can just go on,
I
but
agree 100%.
this year, yeah, it's a tough one, and
It's
I
hearsay, and it's really interesting that he was actually convicted. I want to kind of research it more and just kind of see,
mhm,
like you said, what was this evidence? Okay, was it just the fact that he said, "Hey, I spent the night over here and the gun is over there"? Well, that can kind of corroborate the story with him spending the night. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Trash
exactly,
Can
and if
Wave says, "I'd rather die. Hopefully, if he's innocent, that's not the end." Yeah, it cuts both ways. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting because that co-defendant confessing and then confessing after he made his plea deal or made a deal to go against the guy.
mhm,
Yeah, yeah, too much.
yeah, that part is tricky too, and I understand how they feel about, when someone talks in prison, and is the people that they talking to trustworthy. I understand that, but
Right.
we have to remember the what were the name of those, the New York Five, the boys in New York,
Yes. Yes.
and when they got locked up, and then the one that really done it told people in prison he was the one that done it and did it alone.
Yes.
But I mean,
Yes.
and again, they knew that, but they rarely believe that when people come forward and talk and say, hey, he admitted that he was the one committed the crime, because they all are criminals in there. So it's like, are you gonna believe a criminal?
Exactly.
And a lot of times sometimes they do tell the truth sometimes.
Right. Exactly.
You
You
know?
know what? Like I always say, there's no honor among thieves. So the
Yeah,
truth of the matter is,
exactly.
this is just a slippery slope. But I just don't think, you know, life in prison can definitely, to me, I'd rather that than to kill him with all this doubt. That's just me, but absolutely. Trash Can Wave says he's guilty of not having a good lawyer. So, yeah. So, thanks for coming up and giving me your information, girl.
Absolutely.
Um,
Listen, when you poor and when you in those neck of the woods, it's
yes,
hard. But and I mean, he's been locked up since '99, so he's already very well conditioned. So
yes, yes,
hopefully the Innocent Project will continue to work with him
yes.
to, if he's innocent, that he deserves, to be let out. But it's gonna be a hard, long road for that to
I
even
think so
come
too.
to play.
I
But you're
think so
welcome.
too.
And
All
my
right, dear.
email is in the back chat, so you have it now. So you can reach out to me anytime.
Okay, I
All right,
will.
sweetie. All
All
right,
right.
thanks.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it. That's the OG Patrice. She graced the stage, graced the platform with her knowledge and understanding of everything in this case. She's like me, very limited in our back knowledge of what's going on with this. But like I said, I would rather him serve life in prison if there's an ounce of doubt. Okay. Trash Can Waves. After this commercial, we're going to go through a couple of stories. I really want to get your opinion about a few things. I don't remember what, but it was a couple of, well, I know we're going to talk about Ahmaud Arbery, this Malcolm X case. There's a lot going on. So y'all stay tuned. If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. Y'all hear it. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am Melissa Berrien of Real Talk with Melissa Berrien. And I'm here covering the breaking news. And like I said, we are going to court today. Everything is about crime, criminality, and court cases today. Okay. And so if you're catching a replay, what's up, replay? Gang, gang. Good to see y'all. You already know, leave a comment. I comment back, shout you out. I'll even highlight your comments. So do not feel like, oh, I'm replay. She won't talk to me. I do. Okay. So anyway, yeah, so that last story, we have to just see what's going on. Uncle Stu in the house. Hey, 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 he says, I'm here. By the time I'm done, everybody gonna be like, hey, hey, right now, do it. It's so funny. Anyway, he says, much love to the panel and chat. What's up, Uncle Stu? Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Another content creator. I really enjoyed your stream last night with John. Really, really just chill. Just a real chill conversation. Okay. And that's what I do, YouTube. Chill, man. She saw my thunder, looking good, real talk, Miss Melissa Berrien. But I love your look better with glasses. But that's just me. Just like how I love you with ambulance. How you say ambulance? Yes, that's how I say it. And why didn't I wear my glasses today? Because I knew that I was giving big hair today. So I was like, okay. So yeah, Patrice says, I'm so triggered by these court cases. I feel like I have PTSD sometimes. And you know what, Patrice? That's why it took me so long to even get to the point where I wanted to talk about it. Number one, YouTube be tripping, point blank, period. There's certain things I can say, certain things I can show, but it's very, 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 very limited. Okay. The other part, I am like you. It's an ongoing thing. We cannot. Time has not begun to tell us the effects of just learning some of this stuff on a daily basis. These aren't old court cases. Like we just was talking about the baby today, yesterday, and then today we're talking about this NFL player. Like it's too much. We got 4 or 5, and here's the thing: it has nothing to do with black or white or indifferent, okay, or whatever. It's just back in the day, we would have one high profile case. Child, now I'm just scrolling and checking and refreshing. It's just too much. So I agree with you 100%. So my advice to everyone is take it in stride. Take it in stride. In regards to that jogger case, when you have a couple, you must exercise discipline and you F up like that, father and son, then you have to answer for it. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Trash Can Waves. Just hold your horses. We're going to get to that after this next one. I most definitely can't watch them. No, I don't watch them. And again, that was part of the reason why I didn't click on the article yesterday with Travis. Or isn't it Travis? No, Stacy, the NFL player, because I was like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. So because I know enough is enough, I really appreciate you guys. Hey, Pam. Pamela says, yes, it's too much. It is. So I like the fact that you guys come and we go through the news together. We are able to we talk it out. You know, it's just not a bunch of talking points, someone talking at you, giving you the news and just moving on and hop, skipping and jumping without touching you emotionally. And so that's why I'm here. I'm touching y'all emotionally. Okay. Bless says information overload. That is exactly what it is. Too much feeling. It's being purposely done. I believe that. I believe that because it's exhausting. It's exhausting, but you're gonna wear me down. I'm gonna do what I do and then move on. But yeah, like I said, I know a couple of people. When you're gonna talk about it, I'll do it in stride. I can't do this every day, all day with this court. Uncle Stu says, I stopped watching the news because it's too overwhelming. Yep, same. But because it's what I do, I like my take on how I bring the news to you guys, because again, it allows for a venting to take place. If you're just consuming, taking in, and then not releasing, that's where the problem comes in. So anyway, absolutely right. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. Who is this? Well, when I saw this, I was like, okay, y'all know who this is. Y'all know who this is. This is the Malcolm X. Well, a judge tosses convictions of 2 men in killing of Malcolm X. Now, more than half of a century After the assassination of Malcolm X, 2 of his convicted killers were exonerated Thursday after decades of doubt about who was responsible for the civil rights icon's death. Manhattan Judge Ellen Bibin dismissed the convictions of Ahmad Aziz and the late Khalil Islam after prosecutors and the men's lawyers said a renewed investigation found new evidence that the men were not involved with the killing and determined the authorities withheld some of what they knew. Can we say exhausting anymore? Continue with this case. I think a lot of what we see and continue to see is technology, forensic advances, catching up with Jim Crow racist-esque laws or practices, rather. Because we know that a lot of times the policing back in those days was not fair. It was biased. It was discriminatory. And so leave a comment down below. Do you think that a lot of the technology, the DNA, the foolishness and mayhem of days of unfair killings, lynchings, and things like that? Leave a comment down below. All right. In the meantime, Uncle Stu, I dropped the link, so come on in. XDMC is about to come in. Let me drop the link again. There you go, Uncle Stu. I'm gonna pull up XDMC. Here we go.
Hey, sister, one love. When I saw this, I had to speak on this one in the sense that because Uncle Stu did mention it in the comments, and this is what's unfortunate and sad about this case.
Okay.
If you live in New York, like Uncle Stu said, or Newark, New Jersey, you knew who killed Malcolm X.
Wow.
And you knew it wasn't those two.
Wow.
There is a documentary on Netflix that I highly recommend watching. It will piss you off, but it is well done, called Who Killed Malcolm X. And if you watch that documentary, you would go, okay, wait, everything is here. The police, they actually had the police who are still alive.
Wow.
Talking about what they did.
Wow.
And it's unfortunate because his brother who did the documentary put a lot of work into it, and he had it. And then I just let you guys watch it because I don't even want to.
What's the name of it?
Who Killed Malcolm X?
Who Killed Malcolm X?
Is that the one that's on Netflix, they said?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yes.
And the thing, even before that documentary came out, most people my age, Uncle Stu age, we knew they had the wrong guys. But this is what's unfortunate. What did the nation and what did we do to make sure that these guys were let go or fought for? It's the same thing with the Central Park 5. I lived through that.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. I have a super chat that I want to acknowledge, but thank you. Hang tight. Let me just acknowledge this super chat. Y'all know it's important. She Stole My Thunder says, part of me is happy to see innocent people being exonerated, but the part of me is mad that the guilty party's getting away with things for too long. That's what I'm saying. She Stole My Thunder. Like, oh my goodness. Thank you for the super chat. I don't take it lightly. I appreciate your support for this channel. Absolutely. And I agree 100%. Okay. So let me move the banner so my friends can see you, XDMC. But yeah, well, no, because I kind of wanted people to see what we're talking about. Anyway, wow. What do you have to say, Uncle Stu?
100% agree. I was a Muslim, so I knew this.
I didn't know that about you.
Yes, I was a Muslim. I
don't think I ever heard you say. I knew you knew the talk and the walk, but I thought it was just you just being in New York and on the street and just knowing.
I was a Muslim. I I used to go to the masjid that Malcolm X preached at, and I used to also be in Newark, New Jersey, where there's a large Muslim community. Yeah, I was a hardcore practicing Muslim. Yeah.
How did I miss that? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't convert
so you
over
got
to
a testimony
until I was 29.
You got a testimony.
I do. I do.
Well, I knew that before, but that's some serious conversion. That does not happen very easily.
It doesn't.
That's a serious
Matter of
conversion.
fact, in certain circles, I should be not here.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about that. But that's another day. But
yeah, he's absolutely right. I was there during that time. I was there during the Central Park 5. I'm gonna shout out another case that I know he has to know. I was there during Tawana Brawley.
Yeah.
I think I heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And anybody that was there would tell you she was definitely innocent and she had to do what she had to do to save her family.
My God, today.
So, I back her. She done changed her name. We know why she said what she had to say, but anybody that was there, we knew what the deal was. But yeah, when it came to Malcolm X, I 100% agree. We all knew it was innocent. Yeah. We knew that allegedly we knew where the criminal was.
Right.
That's what's deep. Yeah, that's what, because they actually knew who one of the guys. I'm gonna just call him the big guy with the shotgun.
Right.
They knew who this person was.
Wow.
And everybody knew, especially like Uncle Stu said, if you lived in Newark,
right,
and you was a Muslim,
right,
a black Muslim, and you go, okay, y'all do know 2 innocent Nation of Islam brothers are sitting in jail. What are we doing about it?
Left them right there.
And nothing was done. And one brother got out before these 2.
Right.
Wow. One brother did get out. Right. Yeah. And when you watch that documentary, just hearing the hurt in his voice and what he has to say is deep. And I get it. It's like, how do you talk about a letdown? It's like, and not to keep switching back and forth, but it's still on topic with the Central Park 5, where one of them said, the only time I ever lied in my life cost me all these years.
My goodness.
And the person who told me to do it was my father, because he thought he was saving.
And guess what? To this very day, he lost his mother.
Yeah.
And he cannot stand. Now he's one of the only ones I would say, bro, I wouldn't even try to make you apologize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I might say to other people to do that.
Yeah.
In his situation, no. Absolutely not. I could. That's one that if someone said, well, go minister to him, I'll be like, nah, I'm just going to hug him, because I'm not going to tell him that, because he went through a damage that none of us.
And that's deep. That is heavy. You lied once.
Right. And your life is taken. And remind you, he was the youngest, the smartest one, who's now a doctor.
Yes.
They just because of his intelligence, they went dead after him when he went into prison.
Yep.
Not because he's innocent, because of his intelligence.
Yeah. And I like what you said also, Melissa, about technology. Where technology, where it's not DNA,
right,
with the Malcolm X case, but it is technology in this sense.
Right.
Netflix, social media,
the pressure.
The way you're able to get news out now. We didn't have social media during the Central Park 5.
Right.
We didn't have. If we did, certain things would not have happened the way they happened.
No.
It just wouldn't have. And because of social media, because of documentaries, documentaries is the reason R. Kelly is where he's at. Not because of people standing up doing the right thing.
Right.
It's like, okay, everybody see it. We better do something, y'all. And then the people who decide to do something to make that name for themselves, which is usually the lawyers.
Yep.
And that's where we at now. When I see these two brothers exonerated, okay, that's somebody who, a judge who took a stand to do, but the people who she's taking a stand against can't do nothing to her. They either dead or whatever. They knew how long to wait before they let him go because everybody knew these two guys didn't do it.
Wow. Wow.
And the documentary proves it.
It's just like the Central Park 5.
Yeah.
I mean, if you was there, you knew they couldn't have done it. You just knew.
Okay, because help me out.
Sure.
How old were you guys? Like, where were you during this time?
I was in high school.
You were in high school. Okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay, because being in Miami, of course, we way down south. When you live down south, and it's probably the same thing when you live up north. Up north seemed like this pseudo place, like, oh, New York, you know. So a lot of times I honestly don't remember this story as a kid.
It didn't really, it was more of a local big news than it was a national news. And see, living in the 5 boroughs, you're really, by that time, Amsterdam News, which is our black-owned newspaper, had already, you know what I'm saying, exonerated, meaning they was not there. So we was controlled by the New York Daily News, the New York Post, and the New York Times. So that was our main source of, let's say, written newspapers. And then, of course, they're backed up by your local ABC, NBC, CBS. So you was getting this news more out of what the police department was putting out there.
They were forming it to be.
Exactly. And then you know, Al Sharpton wasn't like the best of spokespeople.
No. He's ball.
I gotta see, even XDMC got on that. We gotta put it out there. This man got a losing record when it comes to getting it. So it was like you put him out there and half of New York already reject whatever he got to say.
You're right.
Anyway.
You're right.
So we had the wrong personnel out there. You know, so it was really tumultuous. And then they started using new vocabulary, you know, and so this new vocabulary was rising up. And then it made every young black kid like myself afraid to go to Central Park, and I live across the street.
That was my next question. What was so I can't imagine being your parents at that time. I'm like, stay home, don't go to Central Park. You know,
that's pretty much how it was in the sense of and I went to school in Manhattan, which is not far. You know, Central Park is in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And when that happened, it's funny because it seemed like the black community, the way I remember it, being in high school, we knew that these guys was innocent. It's almost like when they joke about Jesse Smollett. And like we knew he was lying to black, but we just didn't say nothing.
Right.
You know, because we knew these guys were innocent. And that is why our parents reacted the way they did. In making sure that we don't get caught out there and get blamed for any, because and I'm sure Uncle Stu's gone through this. When you live a certain way and you think certain things are normal, it was normal for me to walk outside my house and cops put you up against the wall. Or ask you, I'll come to the basketball court and ask you, hey, you want to make $10 to be in a lineup?
Yeah.
You know, we knew that. And we knew not to, and our parents told us, don't ever go for that. Don't ever, at least my parent did, and a lot of the elders did, even in the barbershop. That's how it was, you know.
And my father happened,
when that happened, that was really, and it's funny because those who are my age, who are from New York. So I wasn't going to bring this part in, but it is. I'm going to bring this part in the sense that it shows how, and I'm using myself as an example because I did this. What I'm about to say. We tend to vote on emotions a lot.
Okay.
And because of the paper that I held in my hand, that Donald Trump put an ad out to have these guys executed, is the reason I could not give that dude my vote. Even though his policies has done more for black colleges and black, but I couldn't do it.
I understand.
I couldn't do it. No way. Because I held that newspaper. I seen it wasn't a little ad. It was a full ad. Action to execute.
He wouldn't retract it.
No, and it said execute him. It said execute him. It didn't say lock him up.
You know,
he said kill him.
I'll even go as far as saying this. If he never put, I think XDMC would actually agree with me. If he never put that in the newspaper, ever, he would have won New York State with no problem because we were not Hillary Clinton fans.
Listen, we about to listen. Hold on, I'm not gonna change.
With no problem.
Hold on, let me find my. I'm gonna tell you. Is this him? No, that ain't him. I don't have an overlay. I thought I did. But anyway, let me tell you something. I say this all the time on my channel. It's his personality that cost him a lot.
Yes.
Because his policies are phenomenal. I loved now here's the thing. I mean, because I had a conversation one time with this really, really super conservative guy, and he was, MAGA to a fault, one of those. And I told him, I said, my only thing is, number one, his policies benefit me tax wise, my family, like he benefits me. I said, but it's hard when you think about, number one, the things that he's a jerk. Okay. And I just couldn't vote for that jerkiness. But if it was packaged in someone else, man, please, it would have been a clean sweep across this country, I believe.
I'm gonna tell you, you know what my view is? If he would have did two things, he could have did all that foolishness. If he would have did two things, he would have won with no problem. One, acknowledge the P word, even if it was a little late. And I said, if he would have sent out them $2,000 checks 1 month before the election.
Listen, we all would have had where my red hat.
If he would have said, because look what he would have said. He would have said, I gave y'all money. And then he would have did a slap back. He said, what did Obama give you? And I'm sorry, he would have won. He would. Yeah, and everybody can get mad all they want. That's what cost him the election. The fact that he didn't acknowledge the fullness of this.
Yeah.
And he didn't set out them $2,000 checks. Because folk would have been like, yeah, you got it. Clink, clink.
I agree, but also to a point, there's a lot of us. So like for me, my family are immigrants. His family are immigrants. So why are you talking to people? Like if he just was packaged a little bit differently, man, listen, I might have been wearing a red hat, but I just could not. And then
if he was a Mitt Romney, he would have won.
Yes.
His policies, but a Mitt Romney, he would have won. And he would have had a whole lot of black folk.
And I can't believe that, I looked at the people that he had around him and I said, they are not people of substance because they should have been peeped at. Because the truth of the matter is that more black people are conservative.
Very.
You're missing a huge conservative vote because you're a jerk. But black people are really empathetic. So if you turn us off with your speech and stuff like that and how you're treating people and all of that, then that you're going to lose that vote. But he was
emotion.
Yeah. So he pandered to the Hispanics, which is fine if that's what you want to do. And he had a large white women base. But I tell people all the time, he wasn't as bad as the optics will have you to think as far as policies are concerned. And I think that we wanted something so not Hollywood, where he lived, Washington. We didn't want Washington all over. We don't want someone so, but he was just extreme. It was like, dude, okay, we don't want a politician, but you taking it too far. But I tell you what, and I'm gonna let y'all say what else y'all had to say. If these Democrats, I'm an independent. If these Democrats do not watch out, he's gonna be right back in office.
Well, I would put it like this. Now I'm in Virginia.
Okay.
And I'm like you, I'm independent, but I'm more center right than I am left.
Right.
And when everybody was talking about, well, how did it flip back red? I said, think about it. What did you get? Because see, I tell people, anybody that's military, never, for the people in the chat that don't understand, we ain't never voted like Democrat, because they ain't never did nothing for us.
Never voted Democrat.
Military economic perspective.
Yep. You don't get a military pay raise under the Democrats. You don't get, they are not military friendly as much as you are absolutely right.
And people always ask me, well, we had Obama. Yeah, I'm glad y'all did, but we didn't. He caused us more harm than he caused us good. And I'm talking military.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, y'all thought he took away homelessness. No, he caused more. All he did was change 2 words, and you still got homeless vets out here, and it's ridiculous. New York by itself had like 1/3 of the homeless population were military veterans. That doesn't make sense to me.
Hold on one second. Royalty Queen says, I don't know if that would have changed my decision. The money wouldn't have, but him packaged differently. Him definitely packaged differently. I'm telling you, I would have voted for him. But he was just too much. He was just, he reminded, and ladies, leave a comment if you know what I mean. He reminded me of somebody at the club or bar that you just don't even want looking at you. Like, just don't even say hi to me. Like, he felt like a very disgusting boss, just a very disgusting man. He may know his job very well. He might have been the best thing for the job, but he just was. I
think he got consumed with the idea of being cheered on.
Yeah.
And being loved beyond measure. You know what I'm saying? Like that addiction is what got him.
I think so. That power.
That addiction.
That power.
I think if he surrounded himself with some real aides, then they could have got him in certain areas. He could still be the blabber over here, the entertainer over here,
right?
But he wasn't really able to shut it down over here. I don't think a lot of people realize you don't let the Russians into the White House without an interpreter.
Right.
Mistake number 1. But nobody coming to America because they didn't know what this fool was going to do with any.
That's my point.
He was a fool, so it was like, I like the fact that you keeping foreign people on the ropes. I got that part. But when it came to, like I said, and I know she's saying, well, she wouldn't have did anything with 2009. I'm sorry to say, what did Mick Romney say? 47% that would have loved to have got that $2,000, and now, they loving this government now because they're giving away all kinds of money.
Listen.
They're giving away so much money. I'm sitting up here going, and y'all might well take them help wanted signs down because them folks getting a check.
I say it all the time on this channel. They are just printing money. And I know, like, you live a certain lifestyle and people think that when you say those things, you're talking down or whatever. It's not that. It's just, I can look at the economy and say, we cannot be sustained like this. It just cannot go on where we're just like, okay, it's crazy. Trash Can Waves says the media helped project the bad image. Here's the thing, Trash Can Waves. I understand when a lot of his supporters, I don't know if you are or not, but when a lot of people say that, but the truth of the matter is when I'm watching live television, I don't need the media to tell me nothing. I'm seeing point blank period what this guy is doing and saying. So I'm not the type to be influenced by the media. I go right to the source. I'm watching him and
what he's saying and doing.
Exactly. January 6th was a hot mess.
Right. And my challenge to Trash Can Waves is always going to be, and this comes from having a strong political science background, stop looking at the personality, start looking at the policy.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's hard for, and I don't want to make it a blank statement, but a lot of us do vote on emotion. Right. And that's why I use myself as an example because I did. Yeah, I did. All because of that one newspaper. Even though I knew this is the thing. I knew the policies, especially for the education. And I'm like, oh wait, his administration did what? Oh, we can use that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I mean, I couldn't vote for him because of same reason for xdmc. I couldn't vote for him because I know what this fool is in New York.
Everybody in New York says that. Everyone.
And when I was told
we knew him. You know, this was a dude that he made his image off of running around construction sites, talking to the blue collar workers like he was the man. This is the dude that started off hanging out with hip hop people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he knew how to play the game.
He knows what he's doing. Now that
but
he
what
does know
messed
what he's
him
doing.
up was that Central Park 5 case. Once he did that, he lost the respect of the black community quickly.
Yeah.
And after that, he was never able to really return.
When I know Uncle Stu gonna know what I'm talking about, what I'm about to say, because this happened, but I can't remember the year. And I was like, whoa, if the Republicans pull this off, man, this is cool. And that's when they wanted Colin Powell to run.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, man. I was like, man, and he said, listen, I know some stuff, man. I don't want that mess.
He said, no, you know what it was. He said, he said it. You know what it was. Mm-hmm. It was his wife.
Yeah, because there's a lot that comes with that.
There's a lot that comes with it.
Only Melissa would understand this. If you've never been a military wife, you really don't understand that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lifestyle. That's not a politicianal lifestyle.
No.
That's a whole different, separate category.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Yeah.
So it was like, try to put her under the, because think about it. If Colin Powell would have ran for president, he would have been the first African American, definitely would have won with no problems.
Yeah.
But think about the scrutiny his wife would have been under.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing that I wanted to speak to Trash Can Waves. He says, when you're good with your job, it comes with a certain amount of arrogance. And my thing is, I don't even think he was arrogant as far as he was very uninformed. I think that and I don't and it's not even, this is just what I think, just by his actions. I don't care what the media said or anything. It was apparent that I can tell he didn't listen when he was in etiquette class for becoming the president. Salute this way, do this. He did not listen. He didn't listen when people said, you know, when you walk in a room, command power. He commanded power the way he wanted to command power. Those things were important to me, but also just the decorum. I felt like he just brought the decorum of the office down to McDonald's, okay? When it was filet mignon at one point. And I just really believe that. And I believe that if he just would have listened, that's his biggest thing. He knows everything. And any good leader will know you don't know everything. There's just no way.
Yeah, I agree with you. He didn't know when to turn the entertainment side off. He still could have played entertainer in certain way. He didn't know how to turn it off. He had the backing of his party.
Yep.
You know, but he just didn't know how to turn it off.
Too much. It was just too much.
And turn it off, how to shut up.
And one thing that I'll say to Trash Can Waves, study policy. Don't always study the blips of what someone says.
He says, Trash Can Waves says, all I do is look at policy.
Yeah. If you looked at the policies, he was on point.
Oh, he was on point.
It was
the implementation.
Right. Everything else, it just became crazy. In my opinion, arrogance is not a good character trait. You know, Mr. Vaughn, I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know if XDMC ever felt this. A lot of people would say I'm arrogant, but I feel I'm confident. And to me, I think that's a gray area between being arrogant and being confident. When I moved to the South, it was all you New Yorkers is arrogant. And it's like,
I like that New York swag. Boy, when y'all came down South, I was like, hey, I love that New York swag.
It's so funny. We're taught that in high school. Like, you don't give an answer and be looking at the floor.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten I haven't been called arrogant. I've been called conceited, and I have to say I'm not conceited. I'm just convinced.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a word person, so I'm gonna look it up. So I hate when the definition includes the word. So at first it says it's the quality of being arrogant, which annoys me because as a wordsmith, I'm like, you can't
Right.
use the word. But anyway, it says for arrogance, you're haughty, you're conceited, self-importance, and egotism. So I'm with you guys. I know that I walk in a certain confidence, especially in the areas that I'm confident in. And it is what it is. I'm not going to dim that light. So, but I'm not arrogant. You know, I think when you talk about haughtiness, you think you're better than someone. No, I'm better than me. Like I'm doing me. It ain't nothing to do with you. So it's just very interesting, you know, that Trash Can Waves mentioned the arrogance. I think he's arrogant. And when I say he doesn't listen and he knows everything, yes, that is arrogance. But it also, to me, an arrogant person is not always a confident person. Trump is not as confident as he remind little man. No, he is not as confident as he portrays himself to be. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
But
Trash
fam,
Can
I
Waves.
actually have to run
Okay.
and take care. But when I saw Malcolm up on the,
You was ready.
Yeah, that I ain't gonna lie. When I saw Malcolm, she said, "We gonna talk about." I was like,
oh
"Yeah,
yeah,
let me get my camera lights ready."
I thank you guys
yeah,
because
it was. I will say this: we had and I got this from all people, Brian Gumble,
okay.
where there was a
I know.
show. It's funny because there was a show when he was on the news when they had the morning show, and they said we're gonna do a project. We want, in order for you to understand me better, I want each anchor to suggest a book.
Oh wow.
And Brian Gumbo said, for you to understand me better, you need to read the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Wow. That was one of my
I
favorite.
do remember him saying that.
And that made me read that book, and that changed me. You know, for somebody who there's two people that I would say that I never met. I've only read their words, and they had profound change on my life, and that is Malcolm X and Maya Angelou. And it's just something about reading their words, and it did something for my life. You know, especially with seeing what Brother Malcolm went through.
Yeah.
And where he ended up.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, okay. That's somewhat my story.
Yeah.
Well, I won't get into that, but I'm like, I've been there. I started there. I was told this, and when I read the part on him, they telling him that he shouldn't be he should be a carpenter instead of what he wanted to be. Yeah. I went through that in North Carolina, where the guidance counselor, they said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I said, "I want to illustrate movie posters." Wow. Well, you need to be something that fits people that look like you. Your grades are good. You need to work in the post office. Wow. I'm a child, so I don't know any better. I'm thinking, okay, well, I guess I can't illustrate movie posters.
Right.
Went home and told my grandmother that. Next thing you know, I see bags being packed. I said, "Did I do something wrong?" "No, you going to New York. Enough of this. Nobody's going to tell you what you can't be because of what you look like." And my grandmother sending me to live with my mother in New York changed everything, because I ended up in Art and Design High School. And that changed.
Yeah.
And that's why I have the career I have now.
Love
if I would have listened to that,
yeah,
or if I wouldn't have read that and seen that Brother Malcolm went through that also.
Right.
You know, so I can speak on that, but I better run. But
me and him is going down the same path. I hate North Carolina. I lived there 17 years, so I know the issues there too.
But thanks for stopping by, XDMC, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow because we sipping, okay? And you know,
it's Friday. Oh, I'll
Friday.
Have my glass.
You know, I like my brother when he's sipping, okay? So, yeah.
One love, family.
One love.
One love. Yeah, the two books that influenced me was Solar Black Folks, W.E.B. Du Bois, and of course the autobiography of Malcolm X.
For me, it was autobiography. I think we all, like, I don't know, our age group, you know, because that book I read so many times. I was just intrigued by it. I'm surprised I didn't become a Muslim. I don't know how that happened, but I was just so intrigued by that. But I don't think that was a religious pitch, so maybe that's why. It wasn't a religious pitch. It was just his life was so interesting because even in school we were what's his name? I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream down our throats.
Right.
But there were so many other people that made a significant impact during that time, before that time, and even after that, you know, our history doesn't give, or, you know, the curriculum doesn't give it any justice. So when I picked up that book, I was like, what? You know, it was, yeah. So I agree 100%. So are you hanging on? Are you dropping off? Because I'm going to go through the comments and see, you definitely can hang out.
I'll hang out. Do I got OG? I'm surprised OG didn't show up.
She did show up. You missed her a few. Right as you came in, she left. So,
okay.
Let's see what OG is talking about. She says, I agree with you all. He would, talking about Trump, he would have gotten my vote too, but he was too extreme and he couldn't apologize for what he said about the Central Park 5. I voted locally only. Wow, very interesting. And you know, hopefully, you know, I kept waiting year 2. Year 3, I was like,
I was with you, waiting for that change. Yeah,
I was like, surely this man sees that there are some of us that are wanting him to win and wanting him to make that shift, and he just did not do it. And I feel like he dug in deeper. And I'm like, dude, you do not know how many people want to vote for you.
But you want to know why? Let's. Who was out there telling the narrative?
The media and
the media's narrative was every black person hated him.
True.
Women's rights, black women's rights.
Yeah.
Black people hate him. We can't figure out why these black men voted Republican. That was the narrative you kept hearing, to the point where, let's be honest, could you and I really stand up when he was in and say, you know what? I don't like the way he acted, but I love his policy.
I did.
When I thought about his policy, everybody tried to kill me. You know, but when I explained to people, this man gave the military a raise. I'm sorry, y'all don't understand what that means.
And the other part about that is, I'm for securing the borders. I'm for, but not the way he talks about these people. These are human beings that you're speaking about. Your wife.
I think that split is what got me. The split of the children.
And then that, and then I love his foreign policy as far as having other countries take up some of the financial burden. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. But he just lost it. And I was just waiting on him to realize, wait a minute, there's a huge conservative vote that I'm missing in the black community. And he just would not tap into it. And then I think just a lot of people just got exhausted by that. Trash Can Wade says, that's not true, Uncle Stu. A lot of blacks didn't even know about the case.
Hold on. Ask him which case is he talking about?
I think he's talking about the Central Park 5. I think
no. That's what we said. A lot of people did not know what happened in New York during the Central Park 5. That was not known, and the only way it became known is when the black lady who did I forgot the movie she did before this one, the one that did Eve, something with Eve. I can't think of it. She did a movie before, and then she turned around and actually did the movie on the Central Park 5. And it appeared on Oprah. Yeah. And that's how some people knew. So no, Trash Can Wade. A lot of people didn't know nothing about the Central Park 5 case.
He says Colin Powell couldn't be allowed to run because he thinks for himself too much for Democrats.
No.
I think he was running on
I was there. He had the entire Republican Party.
I was going to say he was running on
no challenges. None. No challenges.
Yeah, no, he was running on a Republican ticket.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. First black president wasn't Bill Clinton. I kid. I'll go now. In my opinion, talking about arrogance. While that was true in the beginning, Melissa, as time went on, he adjusted when he saw people wasn't feeling that. No, he didn't. In my opinion, he didn't.
No.
You could think so, but I don't think so. I think he got jerky and jerky.
He dug in a little bit more.
Yes, he did. He got crazy and crazier and then it's just
especially when they couldn't impeach him.
Right. How come there are 10 of us here but 7 likes? I know I'm not good at math, but come on, folks, it's free. Do it now. Thank you. She stole my thunder. Mm-hmm. Eat the meat, leave the bone. I understand that, but when you are, I guess you're talking about Trump. Eat the meat, spit out the bone. I'm that type of person just in general, but when you're talking about someone representing a country, I did not feel like he was a great representation as a dignitary. So that's advertising 101, so to speak. Mm-hmm. If I didn't feel like I could trust him to go overseas and not act a fool, that's just that. I don't believe it. Being confident is a much better definition. They're saying hello to each other. Maybe Quila want to work with the dentist because they are hiring. I don't know what that means, royalty. Not to mention the $500 billion platinum plan he was given to the Black communities to start the reparations. Obama said no. Biden said, we'll talk about it when I win. That's what he said.
Go back. Does everybody understand what he's talking about? That's do they understand what that because I don't think a lot of people know what that is and who was the major Black, quote unquote, Black men that put that plan together. And I got his book in my house, Powernomics 101.
48 laws of power. When you weak appear strong, and when you strong appear weak. I get that. But I also want you to be a leader that has, he was just so fragile. He just had small complex to me.
There's a way of being strong without a whole lot of extra stuff.
In case you didn't know, they have a very special Verzuz tonight. I know I was going to mention that. So I love when y'all do my job for me. I love it, Vaughn. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills absolutely was gonna cover that. Democrats talk so racist in the sense that Blacks are feeble and can't think on our own. When Trump came at us, he came at us as equals and tried to get the vote instead of, if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. And the thing about it is that
shut up. That's true.
Absolutely.
That is true.
And as long as the Democrats continue to board themselves up, to me, listen, don't at me. Listen, you can email all you want, but to me, this Black Caucus thing is a joke, a waste of money and time. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a lot of talking and that's it. And there's not a lot of true representation of what people actually want. Because here's the thing. It's hard to have a Black caucus when we're not a monolith. We're not the same people. So my issues are not going to be the same issues as everyone else. And we're just not the same. So stop. Right. But I'm with you, Uncle Sue. I've heard it on your platform so many times. Shout out to you for coming on and having this conversation with me. I've heard it on your platform so many times. Let's move the freaking conversation forward. Right. If I fail, my husband failed at anything, it's not the white man's fault.
Right.
Because the thing about it is, where are you guys when you have successes saying, well, it's because of the white man that I was able to do like, come on. The truth of the matter is, you've made life choices that caused you to have consequences, to have you to live in a certain place and do certain thing, and that is your choice. That is your life pattern. Point blank. Period.
And I tell you a challenge that I have tried to challenge people on. Why do we keep voting for people that ain't never built businesses, but they want to tell you economic situation? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I own a business. You know what I'm saying? You got a business. We think different. We understand that, hey, I don't have to pay, yes, we pay taxes, but
I know how not to.
We ain't paying the big stuff.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And you sit there and go, okay, if you want to be in the middle class, do y'all realize that y'all voting on policies where the rich will never be taxed?
Nope.
The poor don't pay tax, which means all of this stuff is coming out of your pocket.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. Trash Can Waves. He's always on this media kick. Media were controlling us, and now the illusion has been broken. Here's the thing. If you go to my social media all through before Black Lives and all that stuff, I would be the first person to tell you, and you will see that I don't play these games with the media and the illusion, and we all have to think the same and be the same. So I'm sure people, the illusion is being broken in some people, but there have been a lot of people like myself, Uncle Stu, a lot of my friends and family and everything else, where we're just like, no, this has never been our narrative. So I understand what you're saying about the media, but at the same time, the media is not and has not controlled a lot of people. So you can't wear his hat in the streets. That was mind control. I wasn't wearing a hat. No way. I
don't wear political things.
Security and Borders, they're laughing. Aver, Duvernay, do it now. Love it. They love him overseas. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I know Afghanistan miss Trump. Shout out to you, Uncle Stu. I appreciate it. All you do. Peace, love, and blessings. That's from Vaughn.
Thank you, sir.
Facts, Uncle Stu. They talk capitalism like it's evil and buy iPhones and Starbucks. Shut down all our small Black businesses, and left open white corporate businesses like Walmart. There's a message.
Let me. Can I speak on that real quick? Mm-hmm. Trash Can Ways, I'm gonna tell you something, and I've spoken to and continue because I'm getting ready to actually interview my dad.
Oh, nice.
And people in my dad's age group.
Nice.
Believe it or not, a lot of people in my father's age group did not agree with integration. The only thing they said integration did was for education. Outside of that, it destroyed Black economics. A lot of Black people didn't even know they was, and I put it in quotes, poor until all of that stuff came.
Yeah.
Because they had Black-owned stores, Black-owned business, Black dentists, they had everything. Right. They saw themselves. So yeah, they were happy.
Yeah.
You know,
but the thing is, speak to this, Uncle Stu, because it sends chills up my spine and my spidey senses when I read shut down all our small Black businesses. Are the businesses shut down because of the man? Or are you saying they're shut? Why, who shut them down?
We shut them down because we stopped shopping.
Thank you.
And then now we have the ability to be international. So we don't just have to depend on Black dollars. We got international money. So why are we not thinking internationally?
Because a global citizenship goes over a lot of African Americans' brains. They can't even, they're focused on their little town and city. You know, right. Unfortunately, a lot of people are just now beginning to think about elections beyond the presidency. And they don't realize, you know, state and local level elections matter probably more, you know, or just as much.
I'm going to answer Trash Can Wait. Trash Can Wait, go back to the pandemic one.
He said, I'm talking more recently during the pandemic, but who shut it down?
Nobody shut it down. I'm going to tell you what happened. A lot of Black businesses did what nobody else do. We're the only ones that'll say, we own a Black business. I'm a Black business owner. You'll never hear no other race say what their race is and they own a business. We set up business as a means of social protest. I didn't set my business up so that you know I'm a Black-owned business. I'm just a businessman, and I'm trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to swindle money. I'm not trying to steal it. I ain't trying to hustle for it. If for the people that's in my little network, we got this one argument. It don't matter where the money come from. If I make the money and I can teach one Black child how to own their business, I have done more than enough. If I can teach Black children how to operate every part of this business that I have, they can go to college and pay their own college. You know how many people want somebody just to edit video?
Right.
We'll pay them $100 and $200 just to edit video. You don't need a college degree to edit a video.
You know, you make up a good point that I say all the time. That's why I gave you all the hand claps. And you know, this pseudo they and them and the man and all of that. I know Black businesses that survived the pandemic. So he said they decided, the pseudo they decided what was essential and what were not. Here's the thing. I don't live in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and I see Black, brown, what would be classified as white business owners that businesses have tanked. This panini was not just exclusively shutting down African American businesses. However, when you're talking about the shopping power, the truth of the matter is, I'd like to get statistics on this, but we spend a lot of our money outside of our community. So
I'm going to I challenge Trash Can Wave, because here's the irony. I'm getting ready to do a major interview with 3 women.
It wasn't just, hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. It wasn't just Black businesses. I understand what you're saying, Trash Can Waves, because there was a conversation, especially in my neighborhood, in my circle. I know a lot of people that are business owners. And that was their biggest thing when the panini happened, because it's like, oh, how come big box is allowed to have people come in and I had to shut down my business? I had to shut down my gym, all of that. What I'm trying to say is expand your thinking. That was not a tool.
That wasn't a Black thing.
That wasn't a Black thing. It was a small business American thing. So many mom and pop stores were lost as a result of the panini. Point blank period, could not come back. You drive down the street and you're like, my favorite pizza shop is gone, my shoe store, whatever. So that is my point. Like, we could sit and argue panini and the effects, but the truth of the matter is, it was all mom and pops. All right.
And you got to remember, they're not part of the major logistics that's running this country. The other thing is, he said there's five major businesses, and one is owned by 3 Black women. And here's the irony of the 3 Black women. These 3 Black women was rejected. These 3 Black women was rejected on Shark Tank because their business plan was so good that Shark Tank rejected them because they were doing too good. They got 5 businesses. They ain't shut down yet.
Exactly. He says, I know it wasn't just Black businesses, but that's sometimes the only way Black people can be concerned, as in your viewers. I understand my viewers, but I'm trying. But as far as I'm concerned, I give my viewers a different perspective. I don't come at my channel with, this is not a Black channel. I am a Black person, but this is not a Black channel. I talk about all things. And I think part of the problem is that narrow view of life. And personally, I do. You learn something when we go out of our little gate. Here's the thing. I don't want my viewers to all look the same, and they don't. I don't want my friends list on Facebook to all post the same thing. They don't. I am as multicultural gumbo as you can get if I showed you my family. And so because of that, I can't just be a Black channel and just speak in a way that's just very narrow-minded. And I understand what you're saying, Trash Can Ways, but I'm just telling you where I come from. I'm not going to dumb down my language. Y'all, they're going to have to come up to broaden their horizon. And just because to me, it's the victim Olympics.
Right. And it mathematically does not work.
No.
And here's the math. And this is my challenge to Trash Can Ways. Here's the math. If we argue that it's only 13% of the population, and there's only
you good, Trash Can Waves. You know that
20% of us, let's just pretend 20% of us got a business. How in the world are we going to survive on 13% of the population when everybody else is going overseas, when everybody else is doing international business? We trying to make 13% pay for it. Is the math doesn't add up.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, I look at you, I look at myself, I look at other family members and people and all around me that are living and living beyond this boundary of Black people only do this. I mean, if I go down the list of the things that my family does and we're interested in, y'all would probably be interested in revoking my Black card, from swimming to camping. Okay. We do a lot of stuff, hiking and a lot of stuff. So if I approach this channel or approach life with the mindset of, oh, well, Black people don't do that, or Black women don't do that, or whatever, we'd be missing out on so much from each other. And I understand one love, you already know that, Trash Can Waves, you don't have to apologize. He didn't apologize, but you're just like reiterating your love for me. I absolutely understand.
No, tell Trash
That's
Can
what
Waves.
makes the conversations on this channel dope. I love it.
Yeah, but see, we need that because people should understand, well, what is, if you give this argument, what argument would you give back? How do you articulate? Because I'll admit there are some Black conservatives that when they speak, you know, they talk like they hate Black people.
Exactly. I know exactly.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're thinking about. You don't. No.
Yeah. And when you're getting that conservativeness from that angle of I hate Black people, they lazy, and you start doing that, then I understand the rejection. But if I explain it in a different way and say, you know what, how do you feel about this issue? How do you feel about this issue?
That's right.
But did you know that this issue is blah, blah, blah?
Yep. I agree with you 100%, because the problem is when you go into, and that's what when we were purchasing this house, I was talking to the realtor. He was like, we were getting, closing and everything. And he was like, oh, you don't want to come to my Facebook page. You'll hate me. And I said, you'd be surprised. We have more in common than you think. Don't just look at my package or look at us and just say, oh, they are whatever. I said, the other part about that is you MAGA people don't hurt my feelings. You don't hurt my feelings. You can say whatever you want to say and I will challenge you or agree with you, or we could just move on. I said, but the problem is when we all aren't listening to each other, because there was a lot of closed-mindedness with that MAGA movement, so closed-minded, the extremism. I'm not talking about somebody that's just Republican, rhinos, as they would say.
Right.
Because I lean exactly how you are. I'm independent, but I definitely lean more towards conservatorship. Right. Conservatism. So he said, no, I have to apologize because I almost fell into what Democrats do. Nah, y'all right. I got to respect a Black person's mind and ability to take in information. You do that all the time, Trash Can Ways. You be like, I bet you don't. That's what all the time. He'd be like, Melissa, I bet you don't think that. And I'd be like, Trash Can Ways, I do think that. And he'd be like, oh, okay, respect. Yeah, man. All of us, listen, we are not a monolith. We're not the same.
But here's real talk. If that was the case, I wouldn't have had the conversation I had yesterday.
True.
And if that was the case, I wouldn't have had the couple. That was the first time she ever.
I never said. I said, look at him. Yes.
And his mom stayed in the chat all the way to the end. I mean, so you wouldn't have had that conversation.
Let people do and move however they want to move and do.
Right.
It's just like I said, for my channel, I live out loud even on my channel. This is me. And I think that the people that know me personally, if I came on here and started talking a certain way, people would be calling me going, I defend so many people that I love, because they'd be like, what? Right. Now, and the thing about it is I have, very, very close white friends, family, all types of races and everything. But we're open enough to have the conversation respectfully. And, and be like, hey, what you think about this? What you think about that? I mean, it's hilarious, but it's a safe place. It's a safe place to be able to talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about. But if I had this border up and speaking about that one conservative that, and someone else I know, my husband's relative, very MAGA 3000, but also is sort of Candace Owens 2.0. You can make your point for conservatism and MAGA without putting down your own people.
That's my only problem with it. That's my own, because all the books she cites, I got some of those books because they're old books. I got some of them, and I remember the debates back in the 80s. Yep. They never had that hate with that. You know what I'm saying? It was intellectual and a way of getting you to think different.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Even when we go back to talking about Trump, I tone him off when the insults start flying. That's not an intelligent conversation to me. When you begin to hurl insults and put downs and all of that, that is a very immature conversation. And so when you're trying to convince me to vote for you and then you're acting like a, it's like, I just can't respect that at all. Can't at all. So this was a great conversation. I'm contemplating in my head, do I want to go over the rest of the court cases, because there's quite a few.
Well, you have a whole lot of people in your chat. See what they want.
I see. I'm gonna keep going.
Is a good woman, but
I'm gonna keep going.
Surf the black
from black woman arrogance too. When we know something, sometimes
Trump can't wait. I got a question. Have you ever read her book?
I haven't.
I have her book. The first chapter is going to get you real good. I don't. Let me see. Do I have it in my hand real quick?
Okay, we're gonna go to more cases. Conservatives are adapting to relating to the people more. We got to learn. Well, and those people that are adapting, they're the rhinos. Okay, so if I was a Republican, I would probably be classified as a rhino for sure. And so this concept of rhino, like them people, they cracked me up. But anyway, this was a great conversation. So Trash Can, moving on to what you want to talk about. Okay, there's so much that's going on in this case, and so with this Ahmaud Arbery McMichaels, the guy that actually injured fatally Ahmaud, he took this to the stand. The prosecutor grilled him after he admitted that he never felt threatened by him. And so under the cross-examination by the prosecutor on the second day of testimony, Travis McMichaels said he was under the impression that Arbery could be a threat because he was running straight at him and had seen Arbery trying to get into the truck of a neighbor who had joined the pursuit of Arbery. All he's done is run away from you, says the prosecutor. And you pulled out a shotgun and pointed it at him. And so the cross-examination goes on, and then he says, so you didn't shoot him because he grabbed the barrel of your shotgun. You shot him because he came around the corner and you were right there and you just pulled the trigger. No, I was struck. We were face to face. I'm being struck, and that's when I shot. So, y'all, what do you make of this case? Like, I'm
gonna say something.
Let me say this. He subsequently said he didn't feel there was no threat towards him. They literally chased him. This reminds me of Zimmerman and the baby Trayvon. But go ahead.
I'm gonna say this, and it's probably going to take a deeper conversation to get. I know racism exists, and I don't want everybody to think I'm totally ignorant to racism, but I believe there's such a small minority of what I call the extremists that really believes their color is the pass for everything.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of slid past that time. So it goes back to your technology stuff. They just can't walk into court and say, I was scared. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that time is up. You know what I'm saying? It's just up.
So
I think their minds hasn't caught up to
because
the technology.
They're used to people like that are used to my word against theirs, criminalizing the Black culture, and just stereotypically speaking, they, most likely they think we don't feel pain. They think that we're always aggressive, which is why in some places, you walk by and they approach you immediately a certain way. So I agree with you. Technology is catching up, but also it's almost like the lie detector test. Technology has exceeded that lie detector test in being able to be admissible in court. Like people be like, I don't lie detector, but a cell phone footage,
you can't beat it.
Notice conservatives are not defending those dudes that did that. They are not.
No.
And Trash Can Ways, yes, this is the case that I wanted to see what you had to say. He said, oh, I'm fair, Melissa. Release Kyle and throw them boys under the jail. Yeah. Absolutely. Because, one thing that struck me with this testimony was when they were describing what happened, and they were like, he wouldn't tell me where he was going. In this case, also, when this happened, it was sort of like your moment with the Central Park 5. My son, he was training, and I'm like, don't go outside. I'll drop you off at the park. I'll wait on you. Your sister drives. We'll shoot, whatever. Because I was like, we live in a similar type neighborhood. And even when we're in certain spaces, people act like, even to the point when we were moving in, they wanted to tell us about our house. And we're like, we know what we bought. Like, oh, that's not. And we're like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, we belong here. So don't even, like, I live where I want to live. And so it reminded me a lot of that. And so to think that we have to explain where we're going, everybody goes to, especially when you live near a new development. I've been guilty of pulling over and looking and peeking, and like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But you want to know what's funny? Think about what is his name? The one that's over the 700 Club.
Pat Robinson.
Yeah. Now think about what Pat had to come out and say when he went out against the police. You know, saying, "Look, y'all gotta stop." Like
he did.
Like this is ridiculous. Like your image. He spoke about the case in Virginia. You know, like y'all doing stuff that's not making sense.
They're doing too much. Patrice says, "I do believe Rittenhouse deserves jail for sure. The ones in Georgia, 100%. You know, I don't have too much hope of that happening. It's not going to happen, in my opinion. I don't know. The fact that the jury is taking so long to deliberate, I think we're on day 3 now.
Yeah, somebody in there is struggling.
Someone in there is struggling. And, you know, Trash Can Ways, when you brought that point up, I went back, I looked at the facts, and you're right. You know, the gun, the weapon he didn't bring it across or whatever, someone gave it to him, but that's wrong. Like, he was 17. I don't know, because this idea of being able to be these citizen vigilantes and protecting stuff, and you know, you're not a police. It was just a mess. And the fact that there's a curfew, it was just a lot. It's just a lot. I see both sides. I definitely see where the people are claiming that, oh, you know, he was protecting the city or whatever, but this is a slippery slope, I believe.
I agree with you, because first of all, you came across a state, so you're protecting the wrong thing, and then you wasn't really hired to do that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't
right.
Like you have a brick and mortar business and you're outside of your business,
right?
With it, protecting your business, protecting against you caught the ego. I heard one content creator say, you know, that little punk kid that couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Then they finally get a gun, and it's like now they want to run around because they want to be Billy, you know.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay. See, this is the thing that conservatives, a lot of, you know, not even conservatives. This is the thing that I have a problem with.
Okay.
So he said, so Trash Can Way said, sending released convicts, including child assaulters, to burn down a town was wrong. Who sent them? So again, these
who are these? Where did that information come from?
Who sent them? Because these are the people that he shot. So as you know, a lot of talking points when someone gets injured in situations like this, fatally or whatever, the first thing they do is go to these people's criminal past. Well, the truth of the matter is, if I'm in that tussle, or the person that basically, okay, let me say it this way. It's the same argument that people did when Zimmerman and Trayvon. The first thing they did was he was suspended.
Go to his high school record.
He was then suspended from school. He was a thug. That had nothing to do with that. What?
You don't know but if you walk around, I wouldn't know if you was a felony, if you had a felony, a misdemeanor, or a speeding ticket. How would I know that from seeing you 15 minutes from his house?
But also, it doesn't justify. Unfortunately, see, this is my point with the law. Unfortunately, those of you with that mindset, if that person is on the offender list, paid their dues, did their time, their history of whatever, Floyd, all of that, same thing they did to him. None of that matters. It still doesn't warrant that their life is worth. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not advocating for anybody to do anything to any child or anything. But the truth of the matter is that person shouldn't just be taken out because he did X, Y, Z. That's my whole point. This argument was, oh, because what they're saying is he's hailed a hero because he took a bad guy off the street.
Right. But how do we know he wasn't converted? You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, somebody did 10 years, they learned. So you're telling me 15 years from now, he could be murdered because of what he did 15 years ago.
That's
it doesn't make sense.
That's their thinking. A bad guy off the street. I've seen that comment so many times. And again, I'm not an advocate for any of the bad things that those people did, including Mazel Tov cocktails, tearing down buildings and stuff like that. But we have to be very careful and aware of the law. If there was a curfew, no one sent Kyle to do anything. He took it upon his business to go down there and protect something that no one asked him to protect or anything like that. You know, what are the laws? What do the laws say? Are we allowed to just go out and just start doing and like, come on, no. And
but see, I explain to people, I'm all for the gun rights.
Hold on one second. See, hold on. Trash can waves. Rosenbaum did that to 5 kids. I understand that. But the question is, in that moment, as far as was Kyle correct or not? That's just the bottom line.
My question to Trash Can Waves, did Kyle have a name, a piece of paper? Did he have documentation? Or did this come in the aftermath?
Of course it came in the aftermath.
That's my whole point. And that's called premeditated.
Yeah. Because the thing about it is that someone that did that to kids or do very heinous crimes, because here's the thing. If Aubrey was known to be a hellraiser and all this other stuff, the narrative would be, one more bad guy off the street.
He's a thug, yeah.
He's a thug. One less bad guy off the street. That is not okay. If you want to take it up on this guy that did the bad things to the kids and all of that, that was up to the jury. That was up to the judge. That was up to the whatever. We don't get to just eliminate people because we don't like what they did.
Right.
That's the whole point. And if you think it's self-defense, I'm not going to go back and forth with you, bruh, if that's what you think. But you don't go to a fire. You don't go to a fight ready to fight and you save yourself.
I want to dig into 2 things. I'm willing to challenge him on this one.
Hold on one second. You don't go to listen, Trash Can Waves. You said it yourself. Everybody that has a weapon says the same thing. If you're locked and loaded, there's no hesitation in whether you're going to use it or not. Mm-hmm. So this young man, there's so much. Okay, so the judge has already dismissed the weapons charge. Mind blowing, but okay. But the other part about that is, as the prosecutor was saying, you came on the scene ready. Well, why did you bring it? Well, I felt like just in case I needed it. Well, did you feel like you needed it? Was there a threat? No, there wasn't a threat. No, nothing was happening. Then why did you bring it? Because just in case I needed it. Okay, but then just in case, so there was such a double talk going on. But ultimately, let's see, his records show his intent of what he would do if he caught up to, oh, come on. Now you're reaching. Okay. Now you're reaching.
My challenge to gun advocates, and remind you, I'm a gun person. Why do y'all have these M16s, these AK-47?
It's a whole nother conversation.
Right. Because my attitude is, y'all not trained for that. Now,
I say that all the
time. Y'all not trained for that. Because me and your husband had to spend 8 weeks every day.
I say that all the time.
Training with that weapon. How you going to go out there in the woods and in 24 hours, you know how to operate it? And we had to be trained on that. And I mean trained. People are not trained on that kind of a weapon. That weapon was never made to kill a deer or to protect you in your house.
I say the same thing, but I don't even. Next question. Maybe he came to the scene to administer first aid. Child, please. He was not, but we already concluded that he's not a medic. Take his 17-year-old butt home and sit and watch this crap on the news. That's where he should have been. Point blank, period.
And stay safe. Yeah.
Why was he chasing him for putting out a dumpster fire? He's saying the old boy was chasing him. Trash Can Waves. My point. None of them should have been out there, point blank, period. And if you come to a fight with a weapon, you're going to have the consequences. That's just my bottom line. We can't go back and forth. Hey, Adrian, the girl with the smart parts. How are you doing, sis? Good to see you. Uncle Stu, 3% of the country stood up to defend this country. People like you and me, we celebrated every 4th. Okay. I wouldn't have been out there, but he had a right to be there. Did he really? Okay.
And Trash Can Waves, are you prior military?
Just go up on a panel. He won't, child. He won't.
Yeah,
and that's okay because I'm not going back.
My challenge is if he wasn't military, then no one can defend his country unless you was in the military.
Right. And the truth of the matter is he's allowed to have his opinion along with anybody else that has.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
The other part is what my point is. We can go back and forth all day and night. I think he's going to it's either going to be a mistrial or he's going to be not guilty. Like this jury is making.
You really think so?
He will not be found guilty. It's going to be a mistrial because there's going to be one person that's holding on. Something's holding this deliberate. We're on.
That's why you're saying that because it's been 3 days now.
Yeah, isn't that what it's called a mistrial when they can't agree, right?
Right, it's a mistrial.
Yeah. So I'm thinking mistrial.
Okay.
Detroit was burned down during the riots, and those buildings still standing, and our kids getting. Okay, what's your point? I don't understand what your point is. It's still the law. You just can't go around taking people out because they did heinous crimes. They did horrible things. I'm sorry that, I'm from Miami. We had riots all the time. But that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make, Trayvon didn't deserve to lose his life because he was skipping from school or suspended or because he wore a hoodie. Like, it's not okay. And in the due process of the law, if these people did these things to children and everything else, we still cannot, as citizens, decide when we're going to take these people out. So
how is it? Okay, where's Trash Can? Where you getting the? Once you go back down,
this one. That's wrong thinking, Uncle Stu, and that's why slavery will one day return because of that thinking. Oh, no. Because now he's talking about you thinking only people can fight for the country is the military. I believe that. Y'all just talking. Y'all are being vigilantes without the rule of the law with these weapons. Sign up, and that way you can use them weapons and have fun and play games downrange. Until you do that, no, you ain't defend nothing.
And I always challenge people, if you really think America is bad, come on with me overseas and you'll see the total difference.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Constitution and the law.
I feel that too, Melissa Berrien. That's wrong thinking, Uncle Stu. Need a mistrial with prejudice. Yeah, prejudice of the judge.
Right.
That they can't be allowed to destroy your community while police were ordered to stand down and let it happen. I understand what you're saying. I really do. And it's a mindset of a lot of people that, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it before I move on to the next one, because we can really go on forever about this. But a lot of people that are private citizens who own weapons have this mindset. And I completely understand. Let me talk to it. Talk to that. So no, I don't think that's an issue to take up with your police department. That's an issue to take up with who's making these orders. Because here's the thing. We can also say they sat up there and let January 6th happen in the Capitol. You probably got a conspiracy about that too, Trash Can Waves. However, we as citizens, if they're like, I don't know why they said stand down. Sometimes it's more dangerous for them to go into that volatile situation. Sometimes it's out of hand, all of that. That makes it even more reprehensible to even conceive why this Rudy Poot 17-year-old feels like he's just going to walk through the streets. He knew, bottom line, he knew what he was doing when he went down there. He was ready, bottom line. Now, after the fact that things come up, he's coming up with all these talking points. My bottom line, my opinion is he was ready for a fight. Point blank, period. And what the truth of the matter is, Rittenhouse is really not an anomaly.
Many people will tell you, whether it's Ferguson, Miami, and all of those things, half those people that are down there ready to fight and doing all this stuff, they don't even live there. The protesters and everybody don't even live in that area. So with that
that's
being
why,
said,
right. That's why I said Treken's Way argument falls. He wasn't protecting his neighborhood. He wasn't protecting any business in his area. He went across state lines, which meant he was looking for something.
Hold on. Why you said people can't fight? So how you going to say no when Uncle Stu come for you, Uncle Stu? I don't know what you're saying. Exactly, Uncle Stu. We're trying to keep this country free. Uncle Stu made a good point. You can't defend your country if you're not in the military. Question: where was the National Guard during this, Uncle Stu? But again, that's not Kyle. We're not Uncle Stu. Don't say nothing else. Trash can waves. You can come up with 1,000 questions. The bottom line is whether the National Guard wasn't there and all these other people who should be there, could be there, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Peace Corps, and everyone else. It's still not his job as a 17-year-old private citizen to then police the city. And then police the city the way he felt like he wanted to police it. And then when there's consequences, to cry foul. That's my bottom line. Speaking of crying foul, our resident Trumper, who was at the alleged, well, he's now convicted now, down to the January 6th insurrection, he made news at first because of his weird outfit. And I've actually seen this guy. He's from Arizona, and I've seen him.
You've literally seen him?
I've seen him, yeah, on a corner. He used to be on a corner, but this was before January 6th. You just see him walking around. It's Arizona, and you dress like that. And he'd be over kind of by one of our malls, just kind of looking weird. But it got weirder for him because he showed up on January 6th. And so he is known as QAnon Shaman, Jacob Chansley, who he had the Hornet and all of that. Well, he was sentenced to 41 months in jail as a result of his participation in January 6th. I was shocked by that. I really didn't think that. I think out of all the people that have been convicted, sentenced, I think he's got the stiffest one so far. I've seen 6 months. What have you seen?
I've seen about the same numbers. I would have thought they got that woman more.
Me too.
One that stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop. I thought that she should have got it the hardest. He just looked like a fool. You know, I hate to say it that way. He was more of just a fool, and because of the way he dressed, his image was more out there. But
I'm trying to remember what exactly he did.
Laptop should have got 20 years.
But see, he was the one. He went to the Senate floor. He was
sat in the seat, right?
Yep. He went to the floor. He and actually he's wow, he's a former actor and a Navy sailor. Let's see. Let me try to see. Yeah, he went to the Senate floor. He had a spear. He took the flagpole. And so he was there, you know, but I'm with you. He is one that did kind of the more extreme things, but the kill Mike, well, I can't say that, but the blank Mike Pence, the people, I mean, you took this woman's laptop and here's the thing.
And they got it out the White House and took it home and tried to sell it to the Russians. She should have got 20 years easy. Easy. You know,
and the good part about it is I follow this account. I can't really remember the name of it, but I think it's on Instagram. But they are kind of keeping up with the people that are getting sentenced and stuff. And yes, he is the one that has the most, but it's just not enough to me. To me, the conviction and the oh Lord, here he go. Why y'all so worried about the White House and not your own community? The media got power. No, baby, the media doesn't have power. That didn't happen in my community. Okay, I'm just as concerned about the community as I am about the White. You know, two things can be true. I could be concerned about the White House, and I could be concerned about Kenosha, Washington, Wisconsin. I can be concerned about blank Arizona, where I live at, as well as the White House. This was an atrocity against the White House. Okay. But I also am concerned that these people shouldn't have been able to do this. But again, I digress. 41 months, I'm guessing she stole my thunder, says, I'm the only one who had to count on my fingers. The girl, I didn't even try. More beer, please. To all my gunslinging friends and acquaintances, make love, not war. Adrian, what's up, girl? If they let all them rioters go, let the January 6 people go, because unlike the rioters, they exterminated no one, but they lost their lives. Okay. Again, I said it before. I do know that some of the rioters were not let go, but also I don't think that they should be let go. I don't think the people that took over Seattle's police department and made a whole tent city, that shouldn't have went.
Now that was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
And the entire police department had to be removed in order to get that back. Yeah.
But if a group of rioters showed up to your house and neighborhood wanting to burn down your homes with y'all in it, Uncle Stu say you have no right to defend yourself. That is not what he said.
I did not say that.
He did not say that. That's not what he said. What he said was, for those of you that are saying that you defended our country, join the militaries, where he made the association with the military. The other part about that is that was not Kyle's property. That was not Kyle's home. That was not Kyle's church. That was not where Kyle belonged. So this argument is cute, but it's really invalid. He went to the fight. The rioters weren't knocking on his door. Of course you have a right to defend yourself in your home. Of course you have a right to defend your business if during a riot you're sitting there, you're waiting, loaded. Absolutely. But that's not what happened in this case. And you can't convince me of that. Sorry. So yeah, Mr. QAnon Shaman got 41 months. And I'm like you, Uncle Stu. I felt like that was kind of steep coming out of what I thought, like what I've seen in the past. I was like,
well, if you want to talk about the news, I think that was more pushed by the news than what it should have been. You know, the news didn't follow that one that stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop. And she was able to take a little vacation before the, right. I mean, that was crazy.
That was crazy. And they were like, okay, when you come back, then, you can deal with this. How you going? So, Uncle Vaughn says you can defend your home in your house, but you cannot legally defend your country if you're not in the military. Point blank, period. It doesn't matter what old school law says and old school militia and the good old boys and all of that, because this is a slippery slope.
I don't think people understand what a militia is.
Oh, geez.
When it was written in the Constitution back then.
Uncle Stu, here's the thing. It's the curse of a lot of these people. They're justifying their behavior and actions. And again, not even talking about taking when I say old school law, what I'm saying is, okay, I can't. You give me a headache, Trash Can Waves. I can't. How are you going to defend yourself without a 15 and just people against hundreds of people? Trash Can Waves. Now you're intelligent. Kyle had to defend himself against 100 people because he went to the fight. If he was at home, that's a whole different story. Come on, man. Come on. Stop. Just stop. Now I'm getting you like my kids. Stop. So you saying if the business owner shot him, it would be good? Absolutely. Because now I'm protecting my property.
He would have been defending the business.
He's protecting his property, Trash Can Waves.
And he wouldn't even probably spend less than a few hours just writing out paperwork.
Please. That's it. Smile and that's it. Yes, I am saying if the business owner shot him, it would be good. Absolutely. Kyle went to a party that he didn't believe fat meat was greasy, and he was playing around and got hurt and hurt some folks. That's the bottom line. He had no business being down there. Period. Read your Constitution and Bill of Rights. It's in there. Okay.
I'm a political science major. I know the Constitution.
Trash can waste. I'll stop. You need to stop. I'm gonna pinch you when I see you. I'm gonna pinch you. Listen, because I think what's happening is there's a lot of talking points that are being polluted. Because when people think and they look at a Kyle Rittenhouse in his case, they automatically think, "Oh, you're against weapons. You want to take my weapons." No one's saying that. No one's even saying if it was legal and lawful for him to have whatever weapon that he had, fine. If the people were coming to his house, do what you need to do. Absolutely. But come on. That's like, okay, so growing up in Miami, I've lived through a lot of riots. Very common thing there. And so even before this modern thing. And so there was, and literally it was so crazy because I remember sitting on our stoop watching from afar, but watching the riots happen, people driving by, whatever. If my mother decided, well, let me put my kids in the car and loot or do stuff or whatever, she would have been absolutely wrong for doing that. But at the same time, a child, Adrian, if it's might be me because she's saying she struggles streaming. StreamYard has been tripping all day today.
Yeah,
I had to restart.
Yeah, I was moderating someone else and they was going through it too.
Oh yeah, I did. I started late today, Adrian, because of it. And I might end up putting this on private or just putting a notice like, hey, it is what it is. Because I know I'm not even going to try to edit this. Not as well you may think, Uncle Stu. Okay, there are a lot of things in the Constitution that are not upheld. Try shooting someone and using that excuse, you're defending your country. See how far you get. Exactly. Okay, Melissa. So we're not supposed to look out for our neighbor. Come on. Okay, I'm done. Because that's the game that you guys play. You guys think about it's the whataboutisms. And the truth of the matter is, what are the facts? Am I allowed to just go down to a riot or whatever and just start defending Macy's? Because I like the shoes in there and I don't want nobody to break into Macy's. No.
You know what's funny? You had an experience that I've never had. New York never really broke out in riots. Now we broke out in protests.
Oh no, straight up riots.
We've never, when we used to see it, because the only riots we used to always see was the one in California.
Yeah.
And it was hard for us to relate. I mean, not to say it's not real.
No, I understand.
Like, why in the world they destroying? That's the one concept I have to admit we never got. But I know it happened.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Patrice says a lot of the Constitution amendments need to be revised, updated, or abolished. Absolutely.
I agree.
I'm ready for Chaka and Stephanie. Yeah, I'm not going back and forth with Trash Can Ways. I'll end it by saying if we can't defend our communities, then all men of legal voting age shouldn't have to sign up for the draft. I'm okay with that because I only want people that want to be.
We don't have a draft.
Right. We don't have a draft.
We've never declared war. Congress has never declared war on anybody, so you're not going to have a draft.
Right.
And believe it or not, those that signed up is already on what's known as backdraft. Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand there's two forms of drafts.
And the truth of the matter is, and I'm going to say this, and then let me see what. The rest of the stories are light. I told y'all it was going to be a heavy day today. The truth of the matter is we just really cannot police ourselves in that sense of in the community. Like it's a dangerous, slippery slope that we're saying because in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, forget all this facts or whatever. What precedence does this now set? Let's say he's not guilty and he was defending himself and all this other stuff. Without things being video recorded or whatever, anybody can literally say they were defending themselves. And that's what's becoming the problem.
Right.
I don't know. Uncle Stu, you go in depth with me with the two forms of drafts. I'm very interested in hearing that. Yes, he'll do it on his show. Because I'm already 2 hours in.
Yeah, but I'll do it on my show.
Yes. And I will come over there and have this talk. So anyway, speaking of doing it on our show, we're gonna go a little light, y'all. We're gonna go a little light. I want to give a cute little thank you. If you can see it, Trash Can Waves. It's always I love a good debate. And I like the fact that we can remain respectful. I like the fact that you can absolutely stand your ground, no pun intended, on what you believe and your convictions. And the truth of the matter is, we are America. We are a community. We are loved ones. We love each other. And I want the best for you. I don't want you to find yourself out there thinking that you could be a cow. Everybody can't be a cow. That is what that is the concerning thing. Everyone cannot be a cow. And I think that's part of, it's very interesting, but at the same time, the First Amendment people, y'all are right up there with the MAGA people. Y'all don't play. Y'all are right up there with each other. And we're just going to have to see what comes of this case. Point blank, period. We'll be celebrating with each other. And yeah.
I guess I have to put together an entire documentary between policy, Democrat, Republican, anarchy, because that's where they want anarchy, no government.
That's the word I couldn't think of. I said militia, but I meant anarchy. That's really what they want. They really want, in my opinion, from what I understand, until you do the history lesson, you know, that's the whole point of the Civil War. That, and a lot of people say that's where we're heading, you know. So we'll see, but don't answer it. Tell us on your channel.
All right.
All right. Hang on tight. This is what's next. So take a deep breath. Trash can waves. We love you, sir. Deep breaths. If you're just tuning in or you joined in, listen, this new segment, we kind of just took a turn and went back up and back again or whatever. But now we are at the point of the stream where we are talking about the ridiculous news, which will kind of give us a shift from the heavies of court and everything. So if you're just joining in or you're catching a replay, we just left court. We just left the ridiculous. And now we're headed to the ridiculous news. Now, the first ridiculous news of the day is, let me show y'all this guy. And I'm gonna show you what he did, because he is a new record holder. That's what he did. He's a record holder for the backflip. Not that one. Where is he? There we go. World record for the backflip. So this is who he is. On November 7th of 2021, he broke the record. So let's see what he did. In the name of extreme amazing skills, record breakers from across the globe have displayed the elite title and talent. So what he did the farthest backflip between two horizontal 6 millimeter, 19 feet poles. So let's see. Let me see what view you guys have. Okay, yeah, y'all can see. You can see. Here we go. Oh. Whoa. The heck? I know I'm gonna have to mute that music because they sure be coming for us.
Yeah, they want to click it.
Right? Look at this. Wait. Wow.
You can't do it slow, right?
Let me do it again. 2, 3. What the?
See, that's strength.
Wow.
That is, and he seems tall, so he had strength and length to do that.
Wow.
And I've never seen a dude that thick.
Right.
You know, he's thick. That's a thick dude.
Yes. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Did you do sports in school?
Yeah, I played football.
You played football? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I just wasn't tall enough to really go anywhere, but I played.
Oh, okay. He looks like a football player.
Huh?
Why y'all getting me riled up? Sorry. We done moved on to trash can ways. We done. Child, go to find your little A1 group and talk about it. I was on this girl stream. I like her. I love her, but whoo,
Say ship them my way, right?
Yes. Big dude, are you talking about me, Uncle Stu? Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'm back. I need to be able to do that. Child, if I do that, listen. That was very impressive. Very, very impressive.
You able to do that, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah. So speaking of another one, we got somebody else that did something, you know, kind of amazing. Let me use my mouse. I'm trying to be cute and not use my mouse. So this one used a pogo stick. He broke the record with a pogo stick. So let's see this one.
I think I saw this one before.
He broke the record this week.
Yep. Yeah.
A Florida daredevil broke the Guinness World Record by using his pogo stick to jump over 5 consecutive cars in London. Let's see. Of course, I'm struggle streaming or something. You know, let's try it again. That's some serious pogo sticking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just let it sit there for a minute because why not? Yeah, so I like them snugly. Me too, Adrian. Shoot. I know that's right. Better tell these girls, but listen. All right, Adrian, you back. I'm snugly. I agree. Oh, let's see. Produce, what channel will you be watching on? Okay, I'm finishing because we do got to go to our prestigious night. The last one. Everybody likes a good party. This kid decided that he was going to throw a party, but the only problem is, again, we're on the ridiculous news. So Tyler Hadley decided to throw a party. And not only did he decide to throw a party, but first he decided to off his parents. So topping off today's today's ridiculous news, high school student Tyler Hadley decided to throw a party. He planned to make it in the party. Let me see. There we go. It was a party of the year. That's what he called it. Despite the fact that no one had ever heard of the kid throwing it, plenty of bored kids in South Florida went to check it out. Tyler Hadley attended Port St. Lucie High and claimed his parents were out of town. This is sad. Top right corner looks like him in the orange jumpsuit. I'm assuming these guys down at the bottom are the parents, and then this is him at the party. The entire week leading up to the event, Tyler had been telling his friends he's going to have a party, but nobody believed him. He had never thrown a party before, and his parents, Blake and Mary Jo Hadley, had gotten increasingly strict with him after they discovered he was experimenting with stuff. He seems extremely reasonable that his parents would be more protective of their teenage son, who had been misbehaving. Tyler's friends didn't think his party wasn't going to happen because they knew the parents were getting strict. Unfortunately, that's not what happened here. So here he is all on Facebook talking about, y'all ready to pull up? At 11:25 on Saturday morning, Tyler's friend Antonio Ramirez sent him a Facebook message. They were talking about the plans for the night, and Tyler explained that he was trying to throw a party at my crib when Antonio asked if his parents were going to be home. He said, nah, they leaving soon. So here's the text messages. Then at 1:15 p.m., the party was almost officially on. Tyler wrote on Facebook, party at my crib tonight, maybe. Again, no one was convinced. The maybe kind of threw everyone off. But then at 8:15 p.m., Tyler updated his Facebook status again. This time writing, party at my house, hit me up. If you're old like me, hit me. Oh, hit me. HMU means hit me up. His friends were confused because probably like, man, his parents are strict. How did they let that happen? Mm-hmm. And so he said, they won't. Trust me, which is incredibly chilling in retrospect because the friend's like, how are they going to find out? So he knew what he had already done. So that's Tyler. Tyler says he wants to throw a party, and I just can't, like, mind blowing.
I think they confuse misbehavior with mental illness.
Listen, that's what that is.
They confuse that with mental illness because even looking at the picture, it don't look like he's very well grounded. If you know what I mean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tyler story happened quite some time ago. I think it was even on Forensic Episode TV show. She stole my thunder. Oh, okay, because they have it dated. I look at the date, so I don't know if it's the same kid or because I think, like you said, mental illness. A lot. I've seen a few stories of this kind in the past, so I don't know if it's the same story. If it is, oh well, I thought it was interesting. That is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Let me see. So I was going to end with random questions with Melissa, like a whole set of them, but I have a specific random question. So hold on tight. All right. In tonight's random question with Melissa, before we sign in, Dim Sticks, I'm sorry, we are done. You got to come in a little bit earlier. But who you got tonight? Is Chaka against who is it? I just had it. Let me get it. It's Chaka.
Okay.
Who's gonna win? Leave a comment down below. Patrice, Vaughn. That's the random question because I'm not even I'm not gonna ask that. I'll do Chaka and Stephanie Mills. Who do you have?
See, the reason it's hard to say is because they're like two different total styles and kind of two different. Stephanie Mills, you know, if you into that love and romance, that's Stephanie Mills. If you need something where it needs some little soul, that's Chaka Khan. So, you know what I'm saying? They really almost two different genres. See, I'm with Vaughn. See, I'll go down with Stephanie Mills, but then
I'm gonna go with Stephanie Mills because she's the total package. She's gonna give us vocals. To me, Chaka is dramatics and but where's the substance to me? Stephanie Mills has a great catalog.
Stephanie Mills can go a cappella and be right on target. Chaka Khan is in the same. Chaka is still in the same position. Nah, I don't think classically Chaka Khan can deal with a Stephanie Mills. Yeah, Vaughn. I have to go with Stephanie Mills if I'm looking at classic. There's no way in the world Chaka Khan can go up against Stephanie Mills.
Nope. Now, if Stephanie Mills couldn't say anything, both of them were silent on the stage, but they had to perform, Chaka will win because she's the visual. She's gonna, so showmanship. But yeah. So he says, I love Chaka Khan all the way, but he goes with Stephanie Mills. So my friends, no. Did Melissa just diss Chaka Khan? No.
No.
Vaughn, you still my brother. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Call me later. No, you don't have my number. I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Stephanie Mills, like Uncle Stu says, from a classic point of view. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So that's our question for tonight. Because we got to head on over, but tomorrow is our sipping and just saying. And so if you're wondering, well, what is that? Take a look. So I don't have to tell you that we're living a very fast-paced life. Sometimes we barely have enough time to even eat a balanced meal. Well, here's the thing. I created a space for adults to wind down. Essentially, it's a virtual happy hour called Sipping and Just Saying. That's right, a place where we get to wind down. We laugh, joke, we clown each other, and we just share just a relaxed time with one another. So kick up your heels, come on in with your favorite drink or beverage, and let's have a laugh together. Oh, and did I mention no serious topics are allowed? See you soon. See you soon. So that is tomorrow. We're going to, and tomorrow it's not just me. I have my panelists. The girls will be back. Shout out to Laquita Marie. TJ will be back. Over the Top. I'm missing somebody. Black's Tropical. Kiera. Like the girls are back in the house. I try to do that at least once a month where we have everybody. And so where you guys are like trying to pound on the door to get in, we're like, get out of here.
All right. That man on my panel, I got to get the guys together.
See?
Like, hurt.
Yep. Voyaging. Okay, so yeah, they're talking and laughing. I love to laugh. Good. I'm glad you love to laugh. We are going to be laughing and stuff tomorrow. And you know what? I might drop the link, Adrian, and you can come on and join us. But anyway, my friends, we're here with Uncle Stu, Old Man on the Block. I love the fact that through creating his own creations, he takes the time to show up on my channel, and we just kind of been going through the news together. And I like the fact that we're just not talking, but there's substance, you know, with his education coming out, his experience coming out. And, you know, you got to understand, some of you young bucks, trash can, that sometimes wisdom and age accompany each other. And so thank you, Uncle Stu,
no problem. I enjoy it.
I enjoy you coming on every single last time. Again, you guys, check out his channel. If you like what you see on my channel, when he comes over, it's the same thing over at his house. I promise. And if it's not, just come back and tell me. But I
right.
So he's got some good stuff coming, and we're going to hold him to it. He's got to get us our political stuff. Plus, he's got to get this happy hour for the gentleman going. And then we can join his two streams together and watch each other's streams. Yeah. Like, this can go on and grow and grow. And we just have a whole bunch of virtual happy hours. So with that being said, Uncle Stu, I'm going to count to 3 and you just peace and wave off everybody. And
you got it
tomorrow. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Peace.